Hello, hello, hello. It looks like we're live, but it seems like we lost Tony.
Tony. Hey, there he is.
I'm about that back with the screens. Well, I got my ghosts here. Hey, Francis. Hey, Francis, you better get that.
Hey.
You better get that computer fixed because I need to see you.
You know what? I'm gonna have it fixed next week. LaDonna trying to fire me from the show right before the show start. Tony talking, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I'm gonna have to get it fixed.
LaDonna, I saw her at the courthouse last Wednesday morning, and I didn't know who she was. She just walked up to me. And said, we was in the panel room and
LaDonna, that's because I ain't never got my camera on.
Yeah, save our children. We was up there and I was there and I was reaching over to talk to her, and she come up to me and she said, "Hey," and I looked at her and said,
"Who are you?"
Shit, ain't looking good too. I said, "Who is that?"
It does you no good to look that wonderful, and the show can't get a peek, boo. We need to
I didn't even recognize her. Yeah.
I'm gonna be ready Sunday.
And then I looked down to them hips. She had them 45s pointed out. I said, "Oh Lord."
Hey, Tony, don't even start.
I open that wallet.
Okay, I'll put it on my forehead.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, guys, we got a great guest tonight. Wait a minute, my headset's I can't hear myself. All right, we got a great guest tonight. We've got Terry Savoy, Hadley, and Taylor Getwood from Port Arthur, and they are from the Talk
with Terry and Tay.
Yeah, Talk Time with Terry.
That's great,
yeah, Talk Time.
Maybe if he don't mess up the people's name, it ain't right.
I got the name right today. I got the name right today. Yeah, wait a minute. That's something. Okay, there we go. No. Okay, all right. So we're gonna bring him on, but I think it was something I was looking for to add to the beginning of the show, right?
Well, we also want to tell the people what Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is. We want to make sure that we do that every time.
Yeah, we could do that right about now.
Go ahead,
so Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is a platform to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable information on health, education, finances, politics, and business. We pride ourselves on keeping our hand on the pulse of this community and letting you know what is going on in and around Jefferson County. And tonight we are going to get you updated with some people from Port Arthur that also have a podcast and kind of let you know what they're doing in the community. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that in just a few minutes. And I think there was something else that I'm missing that I need to talk about, but I cannot think about it. But I know one thing. I have Let's Take You Down a little bit so you can tell us about the back to school deal. How about that?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So we have a gospel show that we're going to do with the infamous Lawrence Ingram. We're going to have Kim Burrell. I don't think they can see it, Tony. We're going to have a lot of local artists. And we're calling all former Clifton J. Ozan High School choir members, as well as Memorial Port Arthur choir members, and people that play instruments that have been involved with Mr. Ingram throughout the years. Like, we're going to do an old school, back to school, church it up, hand it over to God, and he going to work it out. A party, like a church party. So it's going to be really nice. That's going to be September 17th. So you have time to get your tickets, to get yourself together, to make sure that you're available. That's going to be at Cathedral Baptist Church in Beaumont. That's on Fournette Drive. That's going to be Friday, September 17th at 7 p.m. Come out. It's a gospel fest. It's old school. We're going to take it back a little bit. So we're looking forward to that. Do you have the next one, Tony? That doggone Tony, baby. He done deleted himself. Are you there, Tony?
I'm here. I was just trying to find that ad that we want to show with the next PSA you have. That's what I was trying to do, but of course, we're gonna come back at it later. Okay. All right. Is that good? Is that cool? Who deleted me? I deleted somebody out. I sure did. Okay. There we go.
Hey, but can I get on the show? LaDonna trying to fire me. You done put me backstage tonight. Tony, what's going on?
Hey,
let me say this. Don't y'all start that. Another thing, myself and James McQuarrie are going to be the MCs of that event on September 7th.
Right now.
So you already know, baby, we're going to lead it out with some fire. We're going to lead it out with a bang. We're going to get the community
and that's
all
Cathedral of Faith, right, LaDonna? Cathedral of Faith?
Yes.
Hey,
okay.
It's
not our church, Tony.
Okay, I know what it is. It's the I know exactly what we talked about. It's know your worth. Is that what you're talking about?
She said Motown show coming up, Miss Taylor.
Yes, they have a Motown show coming up. Do you need the flyer for that, Tony? You probably do.
Do we got it?
No, I don't have it.
I'll send it to you, Tony, just a second.
Guys.
But this right here is a Know Your Worth. Oh, you took it down. Anyway, it's a Know Your Worth brunch. And what we're going to do is we are inviting all young ladies ages 13 to 18 to kind of just give them some nuggets for life that they can take along with them. This has always been like a passion of mine. Something that I've always wanted to kind of get involved in is with the youth. And, kind of just tell my story, that some of the things that I've been through, some of the things that I've learned along the way after having been married and divorced twice and on my third marriage.
Come on, married and divorced.
I think oftentimes we don't take time out to go back and explain some of the things that we could have done different, that we could have done better, and that we maybe could have avoided. So Ashley Turner, which is AJ Turner, Councilman AJ Turner's wife, LaToya Twine Ozane, they're hosting this event. But what they put together was a panel where young people and a few seasoned people as well, they're going to come on and kind of talk about some of the mistakes that they made, and also kind of talk about some of the things that we should instill into our young ladies so that we can have a standard of excellence, so that we can let them know that it's okay to stand up for something, and so that you won't fall for anything, honey. So that's what the brunch is about. And we're just kind of going to chat it up with them and be honest and open with them, take their questions, have some dialogue, and just kind of talk to them like they're our own daughters. The things we would have wanted our mother to say to us, and what we're currently saying now to our young girls.
All right.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
That sounds good. Hey, you can find us on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, iTunes, and many more. Let's bring on our guest. This is what I want. Our guest, our good guest from Port Arthur, and we want to bring them on right now in about 30 seconds. We're gonna give you our logo. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with your host, Tony Redfro, and my co-hosts, LaDonna Sherwood and Francis Lawkins.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live starts now.
Welcome to the show, my good friend from Port Arthur.
Hello.
Terry, hold on. Let me put that on the screen. There we go. All right. Let me get these other folks off the screen here. Okay. I got folks all over the place here. I want to be on the show. Let's get that off the show. And let's get talking to our good friends. There we go. All right.
How you doing, Tony?
I'm a little rusty today because I missed 2 nights of podcasting. I was telling the girls today, I said, hey, I'm addicted. We got to have our podcast. We got to have our podcast. We had 2 nights of cancellation. And I got to have some podcasting going on. So I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do because we did it at the last minute. And I said, let me call my good friend Terry. I said, Terry, what you guys doing this evening? Let's talk. Let's have a podcast talk. She said, what we gonna talk about? We say you're a podcaster. We can talk about anything.
For sure.
Yes, right. Hey, while we at it, Tate, show your plaque, brother. I want to let the audience see your plaque.
He's having a little.
Oh, he's a little shy now, huh?
No, he's having a little technical difficulty. I'll show you.
See that.
He's having a technical difficulty, but this is his plaque.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful.
This is equivalent to like he has the key to the state. So this
okay.
And he made history as being the youngest school board member in Port Arthur, Texas. And he also made history by joining the ranks of history makers in the United States of America. So this is totally awesome right here for 18.
Congratulations.
Oh, Taylor.
What a prestigious event. Come on, Black Excellence.
That's right.
Okay, Tony. Also, Taylor is hosting an event, a Motown event with Mr. Lawrence J. Ingram. I just sent you the flyer so that eventually you can kind of upload that so we can make sure not to leave that out.
Okay.
I sent you a text and I sent it to you a messenger as well so that you can make sure to highlight Taylor's event that's coming up. So check your email. Check your phone and your messenger, either or. And just to kind of give the community a little heads up, because I know Tony's he's got to work it into the show. It's July the 29th at 7:30 p.m. at the Compro Event Center. So we're looking forward to that. And baby, they have a guest lineup that you just have to see to believe. Okay. Oh, you're back.
I am back, man. Look, this internet just don't want to let me be great, but I am back in the name. But yes. Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you as well. That plaque that you saw really caught me off guard. I had just got that plaque last Saturday. The award last Saturday, actually. I just got through from speaking at a banquet, and my grandpa came in the house and he said, "You have some mail." And so I said, "Okay." And so the first one that I saw, it was a birthday card, because my birthday is this Thursday, from the school district. And then the next one was this big envelope that said from the office of the governor. And so I was like, what could this be? Okay, maybe something dealing with the school board, some new legislature or something like that. And so I opened it, and I pulled out this beautiful sheet of paper, and I literally cried like 5 times just looking at it and just thinking about it. And when my friends found out, one of my friends made the comment of, "Taylor, do you ever just sit back and just like ponder over all the stuff that you've done just at the age of 18? And I was like, "No, I keep going." Gotta keep moving.
That's right.
But yes, and thank you, LaDonna, as well, for mentioning the Motown show. I and Mr. Ingram, we are bringing the Motown show back to Beaumont and Port Arthur. This year is going to be at the Compro Center at 7:30. You can purchase tickets online at eventbrite.com. And we also have it set up now to where even if you cannot make it to the show in person, you can also purchase tickets and watch it via live broadcast as well.
Okay, well, it's on the screen right now, and I see that it's the inauguration, Motown and more.
Yes, I think I'm going to log in and buy my ticket right now.
There you go, baby. There you go. The great thing about this program is after all the production costs have been covered, we will be using the remainder of the funds for a scholarship for our students here. So it's a win-win situation. You get to come and celebrate with your family. I know how hard it's been, especially due to COVID. We can't really make it to the Essence Festival just yet. We were upset with the BET Awards, but now you get all of the timeless tunes from the Motown and More era performed live with some amazing singers, I must say, from Beaumont, Port Arthur, and also just from around Jefferson County and Houston, Texas as well. So we have an amazing lineup with some singers.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that, because we know that anything that you guys have a hand in, baby, we know they're going to sing. They're going to sing something.
All right. Oh, yes. All right. Well, let's move right on. Terry, guys, tell us, we're podcasters. So tell us how long you guys been podcasting. I know, but they don't know. Tell them.
Well, Talk Time with Terry was birthed on July 4th weekend. And what was happening is that I wanted to do something special for the 4th. And Frederick Douglass came to mind. So I was going to, on that Saturday, I was just going to do something. And Tay happened to call and he said, "Mama T, let's do a podcast." And I said, oh, I was going to do something as well. So we were going to, we combined our thoughts together, and we wanted to inform the community about what the 4th of July meant to Frederick Douglass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was how it was birthed overnight, like overnight, conceived and birthed overnight.
Yeah, because you and I had talked before,
right?
And I was already on the air, and you never mentioned it, and I didn't mention it to you. You said that's a great idea, and we just talked, and then the next thing I know, boom, there we go.
Right. So
that was this July. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that was we made it this July.
A year. Okay.
Year ago. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And they have some great guests that's on there on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We also have added. We go on special location. People call us to do live on location for different events.
Right.
We called for several times to go live at funerals. Family members don't have time to pull the word with those things like that. So we found ourselves just being jack of all trades when it comes to the show. We've been food connoisseurs the last couple of
Tony, that's something we need to do. We need to do like a food thing. Remember, I wanted to do it for Thanksgiving, and you was like, no. So maybe I'll go on Terry and do my Thanksgiving thing.
Okay, I didn't have the equipment at the time, Terry. I have it now. I mean, I bought I have the equipment now that we can go on the scenes now. And matter of fact, I have the 3-camera deal.
Tony told the last time Tony blasted me and told everybody I was greedy. So anything have to do with food, Tony, I want to be there.
I know that.
Let me tell you guys, it's ironic that you say that because the most that I've cooked over Thanksgiving was last year. Thanksgiving was here. And baby, when I tell you I laid it out, but a lot of ladies have been reaching out to me and they have been saying, I can't make this, or what is your recipe for that? Or how do you do this or that? Not that I want to get a game up, but I might be able to walk you through a few little things, darling, to make your holiday a little brighter,
Well, Donna, my first assignment, I was the home ec teacher. So I was doing a lot of cooking with a lot of kids. So I'm
Donna, you're muted.
I'm burn.
Right. Well, you know what? Those home ec teachers, they gave us fun stuff to make too. That was good. That we wound up liking.
Exactly.
Well, my home ec teachers did too, but they could cook too. They were like bakers.
Right. So it was.
It's a shame that they don't even have homemaking in school anymore.
That's sad. It really is.
I even took homemaking as a senior in high school.
Right.
I can make some mean pancakes.
I always wanted to. I used to always see it growing up as a child. You would always see it on the movies, on the TV shows, but we never had it. Like you said, it's not. Now we do have the cake building. You can do culinary arts, but still, it's not the same as the actual home ec class of putting the apron on every child who applies for. So. Right.
And I learned how to sew in home ec. I actually learned how to sew buttons on and things like that, that nowadays kids don't know how to do. If your man busts a sock or button come off his shirt, a lot of these women, they can't fix that on the fly at all.
Bust a sock, we gonna buy some more.
You gotta take it to Savoy.
Okay, I can't do that. I can do the button, but not the sock.
Not the sock.
You gotta take it to Savoy.
Yes, I learned how to mend things. I learned how to do different things in home ec, really.
Right. And a lot of programs was called, when I was there, it wasn't called home ec, it was skills for living. So you did character development, character building, sewing, cooking, conflict resolution. So I really liked how they expanded it. That was in the late 90s when I was teaching.
Oh, okay.
And see, the good thing about Mama T is even though I'm not learning it in school, I still learn so much more from Mama T. I learn how to cook things in so many different forms and fashion. I learn how to cut stuff. I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that.
Cut it mean on cooking? So you gotta cut it. It's too thick. What cut it mean? What knife I'm gonna use? Like not that kind of.
See, Mama T was taught by one of the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hey, guys, I didn't tell you this, but Terry and I, we go way back. Back. And they used to live across the street from Lincoln High School.
That house still there, Tony?
Oh no, next to the Confederate. I would travel all the way from high school from Beaumont to go to Port Arthur so I can meet the girls, and I would sit on a porch because they lived right across the street from Lincoln High School, and I would sit across on the porch. That's how I met her mother, because I was a young kid and she was a very attractive young lady at that time too,
Did you say was? Let's correct you right now. Let's correct the record.
Yeah. So anyway, I was sitting on the porch. Terry was a little girl then. She didn't recognize me until she, I guess, was in the 7th grade and 6th grade, and I was in college.
Yeah, and, because I come with Matt. Matt worked in the
right. Madeline and I was very, very close, and she come to Lamar University. I think she was in the 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah, I was junior high.
Junior high, yeah. And that's when we met. Actually, she realized, okay, we met. And that's what I'll try to explain. That's me. That was used to be on your porch, eating your mama food. But anyway, so what I'm saying, we go back because her mother was a good cook and my sister's a good cook and Terry's a good cook. And that sometimes I pass through on the holidays, don't I, Terry?
Yes, you do.
That's right. That's right. So
kid's birthday party. You came to Jordan's birthday party with Sandra Gill.
Yes, sure did.
And you over here calling somebody else greedy, and you go way to put up to the eat.
Well,
anyway, so tell us a little bit more about the podcast. And you guys have been going on site and doing different things at different locations. What is your next year or your next segments lineups looking like? Do you have anything in particular that you guys are going to focus on coming up, or?
Well, what happened at the very beginning is that we were more than just local. We have become more of a local show. I would say over the past 4 months, our show pretty much from coast to coast. I mean, we always had guests from the East Coast, West Coast, you name it. We had Ty Tribbett Mom on. We had Gary with the T. So we kind of narrowed the show and focused it more community based because it was like really, really booking was like a big deal because it takes a lot to get a Regina Bell and a Ty Tribbett Mom and Gary with the T, Ted Ellis. So it was time consuming. And so we kind of just narrowed it down right now. It's more local guests and not on the national level. Wouldn't you say so, Tay?
I would most definitely agree to that. I mean, when I say we didn't really understand the magnitude of what we had, especially like I said, really our show was created in one day and it was only supposed to be for one day. We never planned or intended it to be Saturday after Saturday until after that show when I was in HEB. And it was like, oh man, we just love what you and Terry doing. We not going live again. And I was like, I don't know. Just stay tuned. I called Mama T. I say, Mama T, I got so many people asking me when are we gonna go live again. She said, man, my girlfriend from California just called me and told me, keep doing what you're doing. And so we decided that we were gonna do it at 11 o'clock every Saturday. And we've been doing it ever since then. But I most definitely can attest to what Mama T said, because we had people way from the Congo on the show that was tuning into the show saying, we love it. Can we come on and, spew some information to you all? And then like Mama T, it was a lot. Having a podcast, and you all can attest to it too, because you have one. It is a lot of work. It's more than just waking up and saying, okay, we got you on, we're going to do this. You have to do promotions, especially when you're doing it by yourselves. And then you have other businesses on the side of what you're doing. So it does become a lot. But I do like the fact that we are becoming more local as well, because we're able to highlight what we have here. And we've been doing that since the very beginning. Even if we had someone on a national level, we would always tie back into our community and have someone from the community or somewhere surrounding the area.
I know that in the coming months, we're gearing up for 2022. So we always kind of focus on and gear towards the political season and what's happening in Jefferson County politics. We have actually come into a lot of dissension and been the topic of controversy throughout a lot of political things. I don't know if y'all endured any controversy yet, but people have been making political reviews about the show and talking noise about the podcasters and all of these different things. So I don't know if you've experienced any of that, but honey, I know that being in podcasting, you got to have some thick skin because I've been called some names on this show. And I don't really know why. I consider myself to be very open-minded and educated and forthcoming and approachable. So I think that in the political season, people kind of deem the shows to be one thing or another thing or for or against something, when really, I think we try to be pretty diplomatic.
Well, I really have to applaud, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I really have to applaud Mama T for this one, to give her all the credit when it comes down to political views. Mama T is really that's the HNIC, okay, the head in charge, okay. Whenever it came down to political season, Mama T I always leaned to her. She made sure that it was neutral. She made sure that it was fair. Whenever we did meet the candidates, because in Port Arthur, it's a small community, so we know people, we ken the people. But what I can say, Mama T has always kept it, to where it can be neutral, and she always keeps me, especially, out of that arena. So if anyone did say something about Talk Time with Terry and Tay, I ain't hear about it, I ain't see it, I ain't read about it.
we all have different format, different platforms.
Exactly.
Our platform is more educational, more political. I love history. We love to invent others. Those that's in business, we like to invent them. We like to bring them on, introduce them, let them showcase their product. Even in politics, we like to bring candidates on. It doesn't matter if they are from the left or to the right. We like to bring them on, give them that opportunity to. We all have different opinions.
Right. And we like to focus on the hot, not to cut you off, Tony, but the more so the hot button issues, what's going on in the community and things that people are really wanting to know about that they may not have any other source or the sources that they're getting it from. It's more of a diplomatic approach. We do have a diplomatic approach, but on here we kind of say what we want to say. It's some people on the podcast I participate in, sometimes they just, they get crazy. So
I think we actually doing the same thing. It's just that everybody's deliverance is different. I feel like I'm more of a I'm shy. I'm quiet type. So
I'm shy too, Terry.
My show reflects. My show reflects who I am. We give people the knowledge. I mean, we've always. I think we do have the same type show. We do the deliverance is different because the people are different.
Yeah.
So when it comes to politics, I grew up in politics with my family. I mean, that's all I know. So I know the good and ugly of it, and this is just the way that I want to approach it. So I know how to approach things. I'm almost 60, so I know how to approach it. Mild, spicy, or extremely on fire. This is just our choice on how we want the format of the show to go.
Go back, girl, almost 60, girl. I was just about to say, we both chiming in on it. You cannot be almost 60. Me and Francis both saying the same thing. Let's go back to that, girl. You look great, girl. Go ahead.
Yes. What is it? Is it Mary Kay? Is it the water? Is it PA? What is it? We need to know.
It's my mama. How'd you face Savoy?
Mama.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I used to sit on the porch. I was young.
Baby, she said almost 60. I didn't hear nothing she said after that.
No. I'm looking at the hair and the swag, okay?
I said on the time, she look good.
Yeah, she look good.
I used to sit on the mama porch with our little boy.
I'm gonna tell y'all, when I get off this podcast, I'm gonna take this unit off, set it up, put my do-rag on, tell them
Yeah.
I get the privilege of seeing the behind the scenes. Boy, I promise you know what? And now that I am an elected official, it's just so funny. I'm just so glad that none of my pictures are in this phone, because if the people was to see the pictures that me and my T get on the phone, we be like, we be taking all kind of crazy. we see the good, the bad, the ugly, and the
Well, I've seen some of those. I've seen some of those too. But like I was telling you before the show started, I saw Francis, and I didn't know who she was.
Number one, because my picture ain't up there. My picture's up there.
She was filtered out. I didn't know who she was.
They filtered out.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
But we have a good time here on the podcast. And always ask guests, when they say, "Oh, I'm scared, I'm shy, I'm bashful, I get nervous." I said, "Don't get nervous, don't be nervous, because I'm gonna make it fun for you to be on there. You're relaxed. When you look up, 45 minutes has passed away, and you wouldn't even realize that we've been on that long and we talked that much. So we enjoy what we're doing, and you all as well. I know you guys do as well, and you have some great guests, and also to make our shows better." Is that our guest really makes us. We don't make ourselves. The guests make us, and what we have to do is to stay consistent. And everybody asks me why everybody now since you started one of the first with the podcast, why everybody want to start a podcast? I said because we don't have enough podcasters.
Exactly.
And we need more podcasters. We need more
podcasts, dance studios,
right.
More everything because our kids don't have anything to do. So
right.
Scenario. Other they can have multiple businesses and it's okay.
Right.
We're so competitive and we don't uplift each other. We need 20,000 more podcasts.
That's right. We really do, because we need to be more educated on a lot of other things. Financial education, all types of education. We all need. People good. And we can't, and we do not have enough of us to do it, to get it all out there.
And let me say this, Terry and Tay, I do like the dynamics of your show. You have, you're going to meet different, demographics, because of not only you have a male, female, then there's an age difference. So I think you're going to reach different people just because of the combination that you have too.
Right.
And so I love it.
I was telling kindergarten teacher.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was his kindergarten teacher. That was my He was my first kindergarten class. I left high school, went to junior high, then I went to Beaumont and taught at the early childhood. Then when I came to Port Arthur to teach again, kindergarten, that was the first year I taught kindergarten, and Taylor was in my first kindergarten class.
Yep. And she retired, baby. She finished out.
So did you see some of the attributes that he possesses now then?
Oh, yes. He always tell the story. So you tell it, Taylor. So yeah,
I gotta tell this story. You know what, Tony? I think me and you was in the same place when we seen Mama T. I've never had such a beautiful teacher before. And but Mama T would always tell me, she said, man, I could just send you on a plane to Washington, D.C., and you can have an intelligent, long conversation with the President of the United States. And I never forget that, especially when her mom came to the classroom. I felt like I met Coretta Scott King herself when she walked in.
Oh.
It was always a fun environment. She made it fun for us to learn. I still remember most of the things that I learned with the spelling bees that we would do, the spelling tests that we would do. She even allowed my great grandma to come into the classroom and be a volunteer, and she would pass out the little Smarties and things like that. But it was always a fun environment. But it's funny because when we talk now, it's just like she can tell me things from a different perspective because she's actually seen the seed be planted and the seed grow. Because I mean, even before she was my teacher, she's always been a family friend, and she knew before I was even in Head Start. So,
oh wow.
Yes, so he always had that spark, and the thing, he has such a great support system. So he's not gonna ever hit the ground, because before he hit the ground, his support system is gonna pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
And his support system always kept me in touch with whatever he did. So I never, even though Taylor didn't know he was in touch with me, he was in touch with me because his grandfather always would send me wherever he was, whatever grade, he'd sent something, little nugget of what Taylor was doing. And so once I started a youth group, I thought of Taylor as far as being one of the youth group members. And that's how we kind of picked up again, and here we are.
Back in the stride again, baby.
Yeah, I always say that, sometimes you got to get the band back together again.
Well, Terry, we've got a couple of spinoff shows that we're going to start in the fall, and it's going to be a more in-depth, in-person deal. I can't go any further because I got my head.
Well, I send all my blessings, and I hope everything.
And it's something that we want to do to really to expose what we have here and to grow, help us to grow our area our city, our youth, because we know that now that we're going to go into the classrooms, because now we know now that we cannot teach they're trying to keep our kids from learning their history, their heritage, their history, Black history, and things like that. And we want to make sure that they are exposed to what needs to be known. So we're going to be exposed. We're going to expand our deal. We're going to have a spin-off show and a couple of more out deal that I won't be involved, but I'll produce it. But I want to kind of get it where we are able. Y'all, excuse me. I'm very nervous here. Okay, here we go. And, yeah, I'm not nervous, but I was kind of messed with this keyboard, this wireless keyboard. Okay, so it was in my way. But we want to be able to join forces with you and a couple other groups, and at times we can, because it is a lot of work that we do.
Right.
And behind the scenes is really we have a lot of work to do behind the scene to put a podcast on, and we want to make sure that we reach out to everybody. Yeah, we have we're on maybe about 21 platforms and social media platforms, and so we're out there every day. And but again, like I always say, we need more podcasters. Maybe I can get one of you guys to have a podcast class and get other folks started in podcasting. And it's something we can think about that as well.
And I'm glad you guys brought that up, because I have a little surprise that's going to be coming soon too. So we'll all be expanding and growing and being and doing.
Yeah.
For me, what my point of life where I just retired, I'm in my golden years. I'm not trying to put too much on my plate. I just want to stay focused on the few things that I am doing. Make sure that this show stays strong. Make sure I stay healthy, and always get back to my community. But my family,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to overload my plate. I've learned through the years that overloading the plates, things get thrown away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we have to be consistent in what we're doing if we're going to do it. So we cannot overload our plate on things that we can't do here.
What I have, and take my time. I'm not in a rush. If I'm not in a rush, I'm not in competition with nobody. So that tends to, sometimes when you start competing, it make you rush and anxious. And God said, be anxious for nothing. So only compete with myself.
I'm telling you.
Always do it with style and grace.
Yeah, that compete. I'm too old to be competing. So.
Right.
Yes.
But just for our show, we debriefed and everything. And only thing that we've got to do is just make our show stronger. And
absolutely.
To cut back, we'll cut back. And we can't overload our plate, because I'm only going to put so much on my plate.
Right. And that's what I was telling a couple of Donna and a couple of others, that it's time for me to let go of some of these things and let you all begin to learn to do this behind the scene and know how to produce a show and get it going and start it, so that you can do those things. Because I'm like you, Terry. I'm almost old as you, and I'm
No, he didn't. He came for you.
Remember, he already told the story. He said on my porch.
That's right. You was just a little child. Small child. He was graduating college. That's what I heard.
You was an old man in college, and I was just a little.
Girl, he just jigging at you, girl. He just jigging at you.
It's really, really good to hear that, especially with the plans that you have coming up. I'm really, really, really glad that you said that. That's something that I've been really pushing, especially in our community and just everywhere that I go. It doesn't take just one person to get things done. Anybody can do it, as long as you have the goal and the mindset. And honestly, I was just talking to somebody about a few days ago, because just to touch on the fact that you said, with everything that we're doing now, and with our school system, with the learning and things,
right?
What we can't do, pick up. Right. What we can't do, then you pick it up. Then you go get you some kids. You start in your garage or wherever it may be. Zoom is free. In a 35-minute session, just going based off my generation, that's all most of us can hold in our brains anyway. Zoom is free. Get on there and you teach us some things. Do what we can't do in our schools. Do what we can't do in our church. Do what we can't do in our homes. We can all do it if we actually just put our mindset to it and keep being consistent.
That's right. Absolutely. Be consistent. This is what I always say, be consistent. But yes, we do need to, if we can help educate those that need to be educated on
Yes.
their history, their heritage, it's just so much that I even learn, something every day. Terry, I know you're learning too. Oh, she's there. She won't. She go. But we are also just want to be able to be a blessing to our community as we continue to podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I had to get something because me and Tay also work on another project, and that's going to take most of our time. So you guys know I am a children's book author, and so Tay is my reading specialist. So with him being a reading specialist, we will be hitting a ton of schools, and that's why I said I can't put anything else on my plate besides what I have.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so for those out there, you talking about the podcast, they have to know that I'm a children's book author. You have to know that. They agree because what? Knowledge is power, right? So they need to.
All right, guys, we've been here a little while. I'm glad you guys accepted our invitation. And Terry, I can always count on you and Tate at the last minute.
You can call me the last minute. I could have a conversation about anything except reality TV.
I'm not a reality TV watcher.
I don't watch.
Me either.
I mean, I just don't watch TV. Period.
I don't either. It's just company to me. I don't even.
Yeah, and I think that once you get involved in so much stuff, by the time you lay down, like I try to catch the news and what I can catch of the news, and that's just because I like CNN. I like listening to the commentators. They give me little talking points that I can use in different things or whatever. When I hear their ideas, and I can bounce stuff off of it. But regular TV, my kids, we listen to CNN in my truck mostly. So I
don't have cable, so I don't have cable.
And see what I can say, I'll never forget this term. My great grandma taught me this. I don't like watching reality TV, but reality TV loves to watch me because that's all it's doing while I'm asleep. The TV is watching me. I'm gone. I'm in a coma, sleep.
Years ago, Tony, my television caught on fire. And after it caught on fire, I never bought another television again. Well,
really?
Oh my God, yeah. So for about 2 years, I didn't have a television in my room. And then from there, it completely weaned me off of it. So sometimes when people talking about different things, I can't communicate, get in the conversation because I don't watch television. I might watch Netflix and watch movies, but as far as if I want the news, I get my phone and I'll put in
I listen to a lot of documentary. I like news. I listen to the news. I don't watch it, but I listen to it.
I get all that for myself.
MSNBC. I know the whole schedule. I know who's coming on, what time to flip over to CNN. I keep up with everybody. CNBC. I watch it all. I mean, I listen to it all. So it's just that I like to be aware of things. I like to be alert. I like to know, but I don't watch television unless it's football season. And I'll watch football.
Oh yeah, you definitely hound the guests during football season.
Yes, yeah.
I'll be in the press box this football season. Your boy gonna be in the press box this football season.
Let me say this, and then he torments the guests when they come on about who they support. He stalked their page. He knows who they support, and then he comes, gets them on, and he talks about their teams.
Are you serious, Tony?
I'm dead serious. But we're not doing that this season, are we, Tony? Are we?
No, only for the first 5 minutes.
Girl, he hound the guests about their team and what they posted on their page, and those people be like, "Can't believe that Tony then went and seen the team that they're supporting and be ready to blast them."
That's why Tony wanted me on now because he know I don't support any team, so he couldn't. Okay, Tony, smart move.
He do his research. Knowledge is power.
And knowledge in action is powerful. So we always say that. Once again, we just want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. We don't want to, the time is a little far spent. We want to give you the last word and anything that you want to say, anything that you have coming up, anything that you think that the community should know or you want to share with them, or, just little nuggets that maybe you want to close out with, anything that you want to offer in the new podcasters, people that are looking to start podcasts, people that may want, you may want to encourage them, maybe they don't know where to start, or they don't have
How
the
to
vision,
start.
or they've got something, but they, whatever the case may be, we're going to give you guys the last word. We appreciate you for coming on. We're happy to have you, and we want you to keep doing what you're doing. And we wish you much success and blessings here from everybody at Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Taylor?
All I would have to say, for those people who are out there and you're wanting to start a podcast or you're not too sure, my thing, go ahead and start it. It takes a day to get things started. Do your research. Find exactly what it is that you want to bring back, but always remember your number one goal. Always remember the reason why you started. Stay true to it. My last words that I have for the community and those people who are watching, those who will view, continue to support. It takes a lot for us to actually put these things together. And we don't do it just to sit here and look good. We want to give this information and give you this knowledge, but it takes a partnership. It takes us to actually do the work to getting it together. And it takes your partnership of actually tuning in and pressing that share button. It's free 99. I will preach that to the day I'm gone. Free 99, just share. And those people in the community, please continue to support not just this platform, but every single platform there is, because knowledge is power all over the place. And all we want to do is simply give you what you can't get anywhere else. And with that being said, thank you all for having me and Mama T on. And Mama T?
And I just want to thank Tony, LaDonna, and Francis for having us on. It's a great show. I really, but I think on Sundays mostly I try to tune in, even if I just pass by, because I think it's a very great show. I mean, I really do. I love the content, and it's something different from our show, so it's something I like to tune into. And for those who are interested in starting a show, podcast, whatever you may want to call it, first things you need is just a computer or your cell phone. If you have a computer, just use Facebook Live, and you can start your first podcast on Facebook Live. You may want to start that Facebook Live as a single guest, just you and yourself. You can just do it alone. Or you may want to start that podcast with someone else, so you can have two people on the live. Okay, if you have a computer and you want a platform, like I use Zoom, Tony uses StreamYard. There's a ton of different apps. So just Google apps, and then you can also start from just using an app. And that's all you need. A mic. I did get a mic off of Amazon. That mic cost me maybe $40.
Yeah.
I got a ring light that was $100. So to start this business might take you $200, but if you use your cell phone, it costs you $9.99, $0.
That's right. That's right.
Just start it. You're gonna learn as you go, so you don't have to be great before you start. You're gonna get great as you practice. So start your podcast, because my friends are not your friends, and my audience is not your audience. And
That's
what you want to hear might not be my information. So there's enough room for all of us. So just go for just do it. And that's if you're interested in a podcast. If you're interested in something else, find out. Just do your homework, Google it. That search engine has everything that you need. Everything you need to start a business, or everything that you need to support someone who's in a business. If you're interested in joining Talk Time with Terry and Tay, either as a guest, either to help come be a co-host, just come to our Talk Time with Terry and Tay page. We'll be more than welcome. Last week we had Gail Castile. 2 weeks ago we had Gail Castile. She came in as a guest co-host. So we're not opposed to having a co-host as well. And my last thing is, it still takes a village, not just for kids, but for grown-ups as well. So let's remember to support one another. And in 2021, I like to say, we're still telling people to support Black in 2021. We already should know that by now.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
I'm like, we still have to remind people. I guess we do. But anyway, it takes a village. So support your local business, your friends that live in different states, different countries. All it is a button away to purchase whatever they have if you're interested in it. And that's it. Let's just make this area, Southeast Texas and surrounding areas, the best that it can be. Let's not entertain foolishness, but let's make each other great.
That's right. And Terry, you could have been my kindergarten teacher.
Tony.
I ran into a student. I said, what did you like about my class? He said, because we got to turn flips in there. I was like, that was not the well, I guess for a kid at 5 and 6, I do let my kids turn flips, dance, because that's a long day. So we get fun.
LaDonna, glad to have you guys. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'm going to let LaDonna close us out.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. We're going to give you everything that you need. And knowledge is power. And knowledge in action is powerful. Thank you, guys, and good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
As soon as I find my closing stick, there we go.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.